Anxiety comes from God. Anxiety is of the Lord, and anxiety is God trying to get your attention. Anxiety is also your godly gifts manifesting themselves, but you don't know how to express or use them. Anxiety is also God trying to get your attention. God warning you and coming to you, he's been trying to get your attention multiple times without that, but you weren't listening. And because you run from God and your subconscious fears, your subconscious knows you're in sin. It knows you're in trouble. Your subconscious is in fear of the very voice and the very spirit that's talking to you. And you can't run from yourself. God's spirit is here, my son. It's within. So it's speaking to you. God is literally speaking to you, his spirit. But you're running from that. And you've ran for it for a while, and now it's built up into anxiety. You have unhealthy fears. You have unhealthy fears of unknown things, of things that hadn't even came to pass yet. You're just in fear. I know I've had anxiety before and depression and things. Anxiety can beget depression because you don't know what's going on, and then you know what I'm saying, you think that you're just not normal and you just get depressed. But what it is your anxiety is a gift. You really, it took me a while to understand that. It took me much learning and wisdom from the Lord to get that. But anxiety, if you have it, it is a gift, and you need to start to embrace it and speak to God. You don't run from God. If you have anxiety, I'm telling you, get into the Bible. I'm just telling you, you don't listen to me. Don't just take my word for it, but go talk to other people who've had anxieties and things like that, and ask them if pills and doctors and psychiatrists, that hasn't helped them. That's just putting a band-aid on it. But talk to somebody who's had anxiety and been fully healed from it. I'm a perfect example. I've had it bad to where I didn't know what was going on. You understand? But I was fully healed by God. You never, you be feeling like you about to die. The anxiety and depression, you feel like you'll never get through that stuff. I also had other issues. There's other issues that can go on. God can afflict you with unknown health issues, and that's to isolate you and bring you to him. All of these things come from God. God himself says, I kill and I make alive. Not the devil, he said, I kill, I make alive. God said, I do these things. You understand? So when you have anxiety, God's done it. When you look, this is a biblical example. Saul had depression. Saul suffered from deep, dark depression and mania. You understand? Bouts of mania. Saul was so dark and in fear, and he also had anxiety as well. But his number one thing was dark depression, and the anxiety was definitely a factor that caused that. Because Saul, remember, in the book of Samuel, Saul was sent an evil spirit from the Lord. He was sent an evil spirit. Saul, listen to me, was the chosen king of Israel at one time, but he disobeyed God, and David was placed as king in his place, and God chose David over Saul because of Saul's disobedience. And God, Jehovah, sent Saul an evil spirit, and it tormented Saul. He was fearful. You understand? Can you imagine how that could be? Now I'm talking to the believers. For believers in the living God, can you imagine if God just stopped listening to you and sent you an evil spirit just to come and visit you? And Saul was messed up behind that. That's what's happening to a lot of people today. But see, you're just lost. You're not in the position of Saul. A lot of people today are just lost. You don't even know why you have these things. You don't even know why this is going on. You don't even know why you feel the way you feel. And these things can lead people into accidents. These things can lead people into like I said, depression, suicide. These things could lead people into mania, like how Saul was throwing the javelin at David, trying to kill David until he died. Saul went nuts. You understand? And these things can affect you if you continue to let them. Do you understand? Mental and spiritual illness is real, and it seems like we just don't know how to attack these things anymore because we've abandoned the knowledge of the Most High. Jesus Christ was freeing all type of people from mental illnesses and all types of diseases without pills, without addicting things that'll get you addicted. All of those things are unnecessary, and they're obsolete compared to a true healing. They don't measure up. They're inadequate. They're inept. They can't do what Jesus Christ can do for you. He can heal you at the sound of my voice. Listen to me. And he who has an ear to listen, man, hear me. I've had it. I've lived this. I'm 37 years old. I suffered from that from like 17 to 25 or 28. It was horrible. Like I had some horrible times. But it was what I found out through that storm. I weathered that storm. God and Jesus Christ gave me grace. He had grace for me because I was still in sin and the whole time. Before that, I was living in sin. But God was trying to get my attention. He was knocking on my heart, knocking at the door of my heart to try to get my attention. I was having nightmares, all type of things. I didn't even remember my dreams. You understand? That's what you're suffering from now. You're having all type of subconscious attacks. For some people, Satan just leaves you alone because he knows you already belong to him. Some people so gone in the world, they can't, they're gone in the world. They're indoctrinated in the world. They'll run to the side. They'll run to the doctor and have him stab them up with some stuff or give them some pills and kill them, or they'll toss their family member up there. They won't consult with God for anything. They don't have any true healing. They're just living to just die. And they're lost and living to die and be tossed into hell. That's the people we trying to save, man. They're lost. We have pity, and I have pity on those people. Mercy. Because again, man, I know it's many people who commit suicide, jumping off a bridge, jumping out of mental illness, but they're suffering from a spiritual illness as well. That's what's causing their mental problems. If they were in Zen, if they in their spirit was in a Zen area, if they were in their chakras, like you heard people talking about chakras and all that, if their spirit was in alignment with the Creator God and having perfect peace, do you think they would then in turn suffer from mental illness and depression to want to kill themselves? That makes no sense, correct? So you gotta understand, man, we don't want to take care of the true problem because Jim Carrey told you himself, big pharmacy is a huge business. Doctors are indoctrinated in medical school and stuff. That's a huge business. They can't just deviate and do what they want to do. You have holistic doctors who can do that. But even doctors themselves did studies on the power of prayer and things like that. They even know that it makes a difference. But we try, like I said, it's money in this stuff. It's money in your death and then keeping you sick. It's money in keeping you sick, But I'll digress on that. But Jesus Christ is the true healer, man. That's who we need. He'll heal all those things in your mind, all those illnesses. But anxiety is a gift. Anxiety put in its proper form and formulated in its proper pathways that's how people get rich. Those people are the people who get rich. Those people who be having ADHD and all of that. You have that for a reason. That's a gift from God. You need to use it. See, anxiety is like a hypersensitivity. Again, you're sensitive to spiritual things. You're sensing people's spirits and you don't even know what's going on. But I'm here to tell you that Jesus Christ has all the answers for you. Pray to him, man. Ask him what's going on. Ask him to direct those things in the proper channels. First of all, ask him to forgive you for your sin so you can be forgiven and you don't have to be in fear. But then ask him to direct those anxieties in the proper channels, and you will definitely start discovering some true gifts that you have that you never knew you possessed. With that being said, this is The Awakening. I am Super Solican. Peace and blessings. I'm gone.